In this video, I would like to throw some light over the key provisions related with the default bail. The default bail, as the name suggests, is the kind of the bail which is granted to the accused who is in the custody of the police, and the charge sheet has not been filed against the accused in the court of law within the prescribed period, which is generally 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, or other as per the demand of the statute. Now, the basic objective behind the incorporation of this act and the provision is that the person or the accused must not languish in the jail for unnecessary longer duration. The time period of 60 days or 90 days or 180 days, whatever it is given to the investigating agencies to complete its investigation. But sometimes, and most of the times, it happens that the investigation do not get completed within the prescribed period. So, the remedy available with the accused is to file the bail application under the default clause. But the corresponding duty is cast upon the magistrate also. The moment the prescribed time period has been expired, the magistrate loses the jurisdiction to send the accused to the remand. The magistrate must immediately apprise the accused about its rights to get him released on the default bail. It is the demand of the statute that the accused must apply for the bail and furnish the bail bonds. Suppose the accused has filed the bail application after the expiry period of 60 days or 90 days. And after his filing of the bail application under the default clause, the investigating agency submits the charge sheet. Then the investigating agencies cannot take the plea that since the charge sheet had already been submitted, the bail application may kindly be rejected because the default bail is the absolute right of the accused. It is indivisible right of the accused. It cannot be frustrated by the investigating agencies by filing the charge sheet subsequently, provided the accused must apply for the bail. Now let's take another scenario. Suppose the accused did not apply for the bail after the expiry period of 60 days or 90 days. But in the meantime, the investigating agencies submits the charge sheet in the court. And after the submission of the charge sheet, the accused files the bail application under the default clause, taking the plea since it is my absolute and indivisible rights. And the investigating agencies fail to submit the charge sheet within the prescribed period. Hence, I must be granted the bail. In that situation, the bail is not maintainable and the bail application is dismissed because the law demands the clear language of section 167 subclause 2 is that the bail must be applied and the bail bond must be furnished. Since the accused failed to apply the bail, hence his right of getting the bail under the default clause do not get revived. His right get extinguished. Now let's take another scenario which we all confronted in the courts. Suppose the accused had filed the bail application under the default clause after the expiry period of 60 days or 90 days. And in the meantime, after his filing of the bail application, the investigating agency submits the charge sheet and the magistrate kept the bail application pending for consideration and waits that the investigation agencies has filed the charge sheet or not, and took the bail application after the filing of the charge sheet by the investigating agencies. Now, this is the practice which is impermissible under the law because the accused had already exercised his right before the filing of the charge sheet, and after submission of the charge sheets do not frustrate the right of the accused. Now, how to calculate, how to compute the 60 days or 90 days? And the formula is very simple. The date of arrest and the date of first remand is excluded, and the expiry date, last date, is included. Another aspect of the provisions, that what are those classes of the offense, and how the court arrives at the conclusion that what is the 60 days period and what is the 90 days period. While arriving at the conclusion, the court is governed by the simple formula that all those offenses where the minimum punishment is 10 years, the prescribed time period of filing the charge sheet is 90 days, and all those offenses in which the maximum punishment is 10 days, 10 years. In those offenses, the charge sheet has to be submitted in 60 days. Now, there are certain kind of the offenses, particularly the section 304B, dowry death, where the minimum punishment is 7 years and the maximum punishment is life imprisonment. Now the question arises whether the charge sheet has to be submitted within the 60 days or 90 days. So it all depends upon the facts of the case, that how the court grant this sentence, because simply the minimum punishment is prescribed is 7 years, the court is not bound to grant the 7-year punishment. The court may grant the 7-year punishment, the court may grant the life imprisonment, because the spectrum is ranges from 7 year to life imprisonment. In those scenarios, it is the higher side of the punishment which is to be taken into consideration by the court while arriving at the conclusion that whether it is a 60 days or a 90 days. So in this case, the charge sheet has to be submitted within 90 days. Now, another point is, suppose it is a public holiday, the expiry date, on the expiry date, it is a public holiday, then it is permissible for the accused to file the bail application after the public holiday, and that bail application is maintainable. So these are some of the key provisions or some of the key aspects and dimensions of the default bail. Thank you.